there, it's Simone. Today I would like to share with you my end of month flip through in my Hobonichi Techo Cousin. It's the Avec style. It's half the year in one book from July to December. Before that I have used an A6 Stalogy, so it's both a change in size and a change in planner, and I'm actually very happy with the change. I am keeping this in a MD plastic cover. I got it on Amazon for when I used an MD notebook, and it's, I think, a bit more than a year old. It's starting to fall apart, but I am going to use it until it is no more. I don't know if I'm going to keep this in here for all of the 6 months. I just tried putting it into I have an A5 Hobonichi cover. It felt too much, and so I decided to keep it in here and see where it takes me. one of the goals that I have this year is to not lock myself in rules that I pose on myself. And so whenever this is not serving me anymore, then I might try something else for the cover, not the planner. I have decorated the cover. This is a label and a sticker. I made these decal stickers myself. This is from Some Little Things, Once More with Love, and these two are from the Coffee Monsters. I made this one as well, and then this was packing tape from my Patreon Happy Mail from Sissy's Art Cafe. I'm just decorating it as I go along. In the front here, on the inside, this cover doesn't have any pockets. I have a pocket from the Foxy Fix that I actually put on some acetate so that I would be able to clip it into pocket ring planners when I was using them, and I still had this flying around, and so I just added some tape on the back and glued it in here. And if I wanted to, I can totally remove this as well, which I'm pretty happy about, because I noticed that I would really love to be able to remove these kinds of things and reuse them. In this pocket I have this die cut, another card from the Coffee Monsters with kind of my daily planning review. Ideally, I would love to do this every day. Right now I'm not doing this. I use this as a planner and a journal, and I'm actually in this most of the time that I'm home, so I don't really need to open this at the end of the day and review what I have done or not. This is the same stencil twice. It is cut down from a bigger stencil that we received in a Coco Daisy kit. I don't know why, but I just love even checkboxes, and so that's what I'm using this stencil for. And I have had friends send me this stencil so that I wouldn't, if I lost one, I had more. I made this as well, and I actually wanted to send this to my sister. However, it's a bigger envelope and the postage is too big, too much right now, so I'm just keeping it until I have a better idea, or until I have collected several things that I want to send her. So that's why this is in here, so to keep it safe. I have one of the mini Ollie clips on here. Actually don't really know why. And then I just stuck this postcard in here and glued this photo, this is my husband, on here. I really like the way these colors play together. On the first page, I have a free printable from Love Cynthia, and I just put my name and my phone number so that if I lose this, somebody hopefully will call me. I'm using these tabs from Avery. I have found that they stick really well. These I used decals and added onto them. I haven't made one for this one yet, but I'm planning on doing this. In the top row, I am tracking YouTube and Instagram. In this monthly planner section, this is what I'm using. I'm using this as an index. And then these are reoccurring cleaning tasks. Black is when these are due, and blue is when I'm actually doing them. So I'm just adding it here so that I can refer back to this. And it is working really well for me. The indexing is inspired by Lindsay Scribbles. If you don't follow her, she has amazing content on YouTube as well as Instagram. And she often uses the daily pages of the Hobonichi for kind of like a bullet journal and collections and all these kinds of things. And to be able to find them again, she puts the title of the list of the collection, whatever she is writing, onto these pages. And I really like that idea. And so that's exactly what I have done in July as well. Every time I put something down that I would need to find again, I put it on the corresponding date. So if I want to check which cat foods I have bought, I'm going to July 24th, and that's the day where I will find that list. I'm using the monthlies just as I would use them in any other planner. I'm writing down my work schedule, birthdays, appointments, things that I need to. I'm also meal planning in the monthly overview. I really like having a monthly view at my meals. It shows me, it works as inspiration as well as tracking if we eat something too often, kind of. And so that's what I'm using this for. I started adding next actions here, but I have found when I was using the Jibun Techo that I need more space, and so my July and August next actions lists are in the daily pages. I want to, one of my goals is to go to the park and play, what is it called? In Germany, we call it Wikingerschach. It's a game with wood logs that you throw, and you have to throw them over. It's a fun game. So we did that once in July, and my goal is to do that 3 times in August and do yoga 10 times. So I just put the tracker down here. I also added the days that I want to do yoga too, because to just put a tracker down here and not plan it into my daily schedule is then it's not gonna happen. So that's why the tracker is down here, and I still put down the days that I want to do yoga. And I'm actually not putting any dates in here right now. I don't have any at the moment. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. There's nothing much happening, so there's not anything that I need to pre-plan for. I usually pre-plan in my digital calendar on my computer and phone. That syncs with my whole family, and so that's where we do our pre-planning in. These are the weekly spreads. I started this in week 27 when this planner started. I used watercolor to block out my work hours. There's a weekly to-do list here, meal plan down here. I put my Instagram posts ideas up here, and the next week I actually made a little list down here. So this is how it usually looks. It's not as full as it was when I used the Jibun Techo, because that's the only space that I would plan in. My to-dos are in my daily pages. The only thing that I will add is things when I know on Sunday that on Tuesday I want to go grocery shopping, and on Friday I want to pay someone, and on Sunday I want to do my weekly planning. That's what I put in here, and just like this. So this is kind of the same all the way through. I'm using different stickers. I am making what I put myself into this challenge that is called Use It Up Challenge. I put together a set of stickers and die cuts and washi tape, printables, things that I want to use during that month, and then my goal is to use up as much as I can. And so most of those stickers are from that challenge. So it's kind of the same all the way through, as you can see. And this is this week. This is what it looks like. Before I used watercolor to mark my work schedule. This week I used a mild liner. And then let's flip through this. This is a talk that I had, or conversation that I had with my husband. We just dreamed and talked about our ideas and plans for what is going on with us and our lives in 10 years. Here's my July next actions list. It was an empty page until I went through this, and it was done. Then there was the space, and I just decorated this on Sunday. So I was able to add more to this list. This is my next actions list, and when I go through my monthly planning routine, I put down all the things that I want to do during that month. Cleaning tasks, project tasks, appointments, filming things, everything that I can think of goes in here. Here on this empty page, I put my July YouTube schedule and the workflow that I'm going through with every video. And I printed it on Tomoe River paper, so it's thin and easy. And I actually do have the same thing for August as well. And then I'm using the top to put my to-dos. This is kind of like a schedule thing. Then I'm doing a daily doodle challenge, which is I'm gonna link the book down below. It's called How to Draw Almost Every Day. And then I'm using watercolor, stickers, ephemera, washi tape, all the things to decorate and journal. And it's a mishmash of bullet journaling lists, trackers, and documenting what I'm doing. I tipped in a postcard. There's my spending. There's my schedule here. And then I made a list for a video. So I really enjoy this format. It suits me well. I'll see how this evolves, and I'm just gonna flip through some more. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be talking about right now. I'm just gonna point out different things. So here I had I just brainstormed ideas that I could put on Instagram, and so went back and referred to this throughout the month. This was on some packaging. I'm using watercolor hand lettering to write titles. There's another list of documentaries that I'm interested in watching. Here's my to-do list. I'm not stuck on a special color or anything, just whatever I like. This was a sticker from work. Then I found this Instagram post that I decided to write down. Again, my schedule, and then kind of like it starts as a schedule and then morphs into a documentation of my day. This is super mixed up. I am doodling in between, adding stickers where I can and where there is space. I'm documenting a new cutting method for my nectarines. If you haven't tried this before, I highly recommend it. You know, the way you cut a mango, like right next to the pit, try and cutting right next to the pit on both sides. This is how I'm cutting nectarines, not slicing it like an apple and then trying to get the slices of the pit. Just try to cut one and twice right next to the pit, and then like these teeny tiny. It's so much easier. Highly recommend. Okay, what else? I printed this printable from Sissy's Art Cafe. It's a Patreon printable, and then I created this just right when I saw this. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this. So it's a creative outlet. It's documenting my day in a creative way. I'm using alpha stickers to write down things. I'm documenting the series that we're watching. There was this awkward space, so I added some ephemera down here. Sometimes pages don't come out the way I envisioned them. Like, this is not something that I would create on purpose, but it's just, this is how it turns out. And then if I don't like it, next day, new try next day. So I usually do a weekly review on Sunday. I started this, I think, the last week I was in my old planner, and I'm trying to do this every week to just list out the unfinished tasks, what went well, what didn't go well, and what I'm focusing on next week. It really helps me set, finish out the week and set myself up for success for the next week. Yeah, just documenting whatever happens. This one I'm trying to write with my water brush, which I don't really like. I really like a regular brush much better. So again, sometimes pages turn out really lovely, like this one, and then there's some days that they don't. And I'm not stressing too much over this because there's so many days and pages to be filled. There will be pages that I'm not happy about. This one I'm actually pretty happy about. There was this challenge to doodle a thank you note, so I received this one and I stuck it in here. Another list that is also documented in the front. We're making decals and sending them to friends. I really like how this turned out. This is a story that I don't know. I think I saw those bike stickers, and then I remembered the story when my bike got stolen. So I wrote it down here and documented it. And then sometimes I'm decorating before I start journaling. Sometimes I don't. I will show you how I started pre-decorating the pages in August. There's a whole lot of documentation on this page, and then I printed the Bay Area Fiber Fair challenge on, again, Tomoe River paper, and I added it in here. There's not a lot of stuff on this page, and that's totally fine. This is, I think, when my shoulder started acting up, and then I'm not using this or working in this planner as much because I just cannot. A weekly review, I didn't get to do this on the Sunday, so I just did it on the Monday. Again, as I said, pages start to be more open, which I'm totally fine with. I don't have to fill a page all the way, even though I really like the look. I also want to master pages that aren't filled to the brim, that I still like. And this one is definitely an example of the not so full pages that I enjoy and like. Trying to hand letter with different things, but water watercolor, and I really have a hard time not trying to. I'm really trying very hard in the beginning, and then I realize, no, this is not me, this is not my handwriting. And when I let go of the expectations, it turns out to be really nice, but the first 2-3 words just don't turn out nice. So I'm really trying to work on starting hand lettering as me from the first letter. I'm documenting things, little snippets. Sometimes so this was work, and I am actually, this snippet is like the recap of how work went. I listened to Oh Love by Green Day, so I wrote that down. This one I really liked. I added some washi tape down here and added in this ephemera. We purchased this bread from a maker and they delivered the bread and we tried it and it was so good. I added this in here to test different cat food. Weekly review. My documentation of how working at a different store didn't work too well for me, and my son read this and left this note asking me if everything was fine, and so I stuck it in here. My right arm isn't okay, so I wasn't able to fill this with anything but this, and that was it for that day. This is not cool. My cats lost my paintbrush. They must have gotten it and it went underneath a cupboard and I couldn't find it for over a week. So I tried all the other paintbrushes that I had and it was really hard. I then even went as far as ordering a new Escoda travel brush. And it came 2 days ago. It's so soft. It's so hard to write with it. But I'm going to try and see how it works out because I spent a lot of money on that brush, and so I'm trying to master it. Even though it might not be my favorite one, I'm definitely going to try and use it. So this is, just not how I would have loved to envision it. I think this is way too dark, but this is just what happened. And so I'm not going to, again, something that I'm trying to learn is not to beat myself up about things that don't turn out the way I like. Self-care is baking cookies. This is another quote. I really liked how the bottom turned out. In the beginning, again, I tried too hard. So I'm really trying to not try too hard. And that's when I did my July review. So I would be able to have a list for August. And I put it on July 31st. So I just decided to not document things on July 31st because I just need space for the list, and it's totally fine. I don't have to document each and every day into the details, and it totally works. I have my next actions down here. Naturally, since it's August 3rd, nothing on this list has been done yet, but these are all the things that I would love to work on during August. And they're not really big things. I'm trying to break them down into steps that I can take without being, so if there was like knit a sock, that would be, okay, I'm not even going to try. But if I say I want to cast on for a pair of socks, then the step would be cast on for the pair of socks. And then if I'm done with this, I can add the next step, which would be maybe knit the cuffs or, that's exactly what it is. Very, just as it says in the title, the next action on any project, cleaning item that I need to work on. I put down a list of projects down here that I would love to focus on during August, and I'll see how that is going to work out. And then between every month, there is one empty page right here. So before the first, and I am, as I did in July, it worked out really well. I'm going to use that empty page for my YouTube planner. I'm using this to roughly pre-plan, and then I have the list of things that I need to do for each video, and there is a sticky note with ideas for YouTube videos in the future. I printed this from the Style Planner. It's on their Facebook page. Again, onto Tomoe River paper. I could have totally printed it on vellum. I just don't really know where it is. And I just like the feel of the Tomoe River paper, and so I put it right in here. Again, I stuck it down with clear tape, and then I have schedule, documentation, and a list for my August spending tracker, my to-do list, my schedule, my weekly review. There's a little bit of documentation, the doodles, some decoration, and then another tracker for I want to walk to work. And so every time I want to be able to see how many times I walked to work during the month of August. And that's today. I brought my kittens to the vet. There's my to-do list, and I decided I want to try and make a currently list every month where I'm documenting what I'm really not sure what, but watching, reading, knitting on, maybe eating. I have several prompts. I have documented currently lists before, and I'm just gonna write it down here and try to document the same things every month so I can see what was going on with me. So it's another way of capturing who I am. And I actually brought out some of my stamps and already pre-stamped, pre-stickered some of the pages, just because I really like working and building on stuff that is already on the page. And so when I sat there on Sunday or Saturday and I had some time, I just plopped down some color onto the pages and cut out some things and stuck them down. I have this pencil board in here with some sticky notes that I use to track to-dos that I'm not able to finish. I have a sticker sheet in the back that was empty, and I just put down stickers that were on sheets that were almost empty that I put here because I want to use them. And then this is a journaling prompts sheet from London Gifties that I mostly use as similar to a pencil board. Then I have my trackers in here that I'm not using right now, but I'm just going to leave them here because who knows if I am going back to them sometime in the future. That was it. I hope this wasn't too fractured because my phone stopped recording multiple times throughout the video. I hope to see you soon. If you have any questions, leave them below. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm Simone over there. I'm sharing snapshots throughout the month, and I would love to see you there soon too. Have a great, goodbye.